Hi, I'm Jan Doyle. Welcome to Wyse Talk. Today's show is a really exciting one for me because it has three of my friends here and we get to talk about a club that I'm very, very involved in. I'd like to welcome to the show the New Haven Camera Club, some of the officers and past officers. I'm going to start with Margot Berry, who is the past president of the New Haven Camera Club. Linda Thomas, who's in charge of a very important component, our field trips. And Frank, who you're very involved with the refreshments, which everyone knows you in the club, and publicity. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to just kind of get right in it. Margot, can you tell me, when does the New Haven Camera Club meet?
We meet every second and fourth Monday of each month, starting in September and going till the end of May. And we meet at the Whitney Center, which is located at 200 Leader Hill Road in Hamden, Connecticut, nice central location. The programs actually start at 7 o'clock, but all the members should come at 6:30 because we have the best social hour and good eats, as Frank arranges for us.
Well, that's true. That is true. Linda, what happens at the meetings?
At the meetings, we have a competition night where members that are beginners and experts put up their images for competition, and we have 3 judges that judge them. They're scored, and there are critiques, and especially with the critiques, everyone always learns something, whether you're a beginner or an expert, and it's a great learning experience.
Well, I think that's an interesting point you make about the critiques, because even though it's not your image, and you hear what the judges say, you can directly apply it to future images of your own. And everything is done in the spirit of learning. It's not something to be afraid of. When you say the word competition, it's not like cutthroat. No. Everyone's there to help everybody else.
Right, and that's how you learn.
That is how you learn. Right. Now, Frank, so one meeting is competitions. What is the other meeting dedicated to?
The one that Linda just talked about was the competition. That's at the second meeting of the month. The first one are presentations that we have, and these are local photographers or photographers that have come a long way, and they come in and they give a presentation on their particular specialty. For example, 2 weeks ago we had a gentleman come in and spoke on photographing in national parks, which was an excellent program. It got me interested in going out and doing it. You know, he went over how to scope it out, what to look for, how to get yourself prepared. The other night we had 2 women come down from the Newtown Camera Club, and they talked about photographing birds, which I found very interesting. So it's a wide array of people that come in. So we have them for eight different times throughout the year. And I'm looking forward to the one coming in at the end of May, or I'm sorry, the first week of May, who's going to be talking about landscape photography, because that's an area I want to learn more about. I haven't done much with it, so I'm looking forward to that one.
And the one thing that I've noticed about myself is sometimes they remind me of what I knew. Sometimes I forgot I knew certain things, and resources that I forgot I knew about, and I find it very, very interesting. Now, when we talk about, we're going to show some pictures in the monitor, and I don't want to scare beginning photographers. Linda, why don't I want to scare them showing these pictures? Do you know?
Well, the images that we're about to see are from veteran photographers who have fine-tuned their skills and progressed with technology, digital, and a lot of post-processing. And that's not an easy thing to learn. It takes time to learn that. And so we're going to be treated to some really wonderful images.
It is. My director is going to put up the first image from set 1, and that is Paul Peterson. Who would like to talk to this one?
Well, that particular one was, like you said, was done by Paul Peterson, who is also an officer of the club, and he's a longtime member of the club. He's handled or conducted some workshops on macro photography. So I went to his, and I learned a lot from him. Paul is a very creative person, as you can see from this particular photograph.
And has opened up his home to teach people
how
to do this.
He taught us in his home. He had little areas set up with the available light, and I came out of there learning a lot more.
Now, the interesting thing I like to say about this photo, okay, so it's macro, which he teaches and opens up to the members. It is textures. We've had workshops on textures,
Right.
and it's also photoshopped. And it is an absolutely gorgeous picture.
It is.
Beginners aren't going to be able to do this until they've been with the club and had some of the.
Well, the interesting thing, Paul said that after some of these obsessions he's had, those people have won competitions.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so he's thinking of not
Not
doing
doing
it
it anymore. Yes.
That's right, not sharing.
All right, the next photo we have coming up is, let me just see, I think, Margot, you're going to speak to this.
Correct. This one was done by Barbara Vitsky, another longtime member of the New Haven Camera Club. And the thing that I love about Barbara Vitsky's work is she is so creative. She can take a simple scene and treat it with the most creative processing. She loves to turn it into painterly style, all different kinds, and make it a very, very appealing.
I agree with you, and that's an interesting critique. And the other comment I'd like to make is that when you start going to Camera Club, if you haven't traveled, you want to travel
Absolutely.
after this. Because
Absolutely.
where would you, Marco, do you remember where this was taken? I thought, it looks a little
believe
bit
it's
like
the Netherlands.
Italy. Or
No, I think
not?
it's more like the Netherlands.
The
Is it-
Netherlands?
Yeah,
It might
the
be,
canal, I thought
Yeah.
Italy, but
Yeah.
No, the Italian canals are different. I believe
Different.
that's a Netherlands
All
style
right, then we'll
canal.
have to check and ask
We'll
her.
check it out with the
Okay.
photographer.
Now, Margaret, I just there's one more photo that I like to go up, and I believe you're going to be talking about it.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about this one. We went from the Netherlands to very close to your home. There are so many things that you can do in your backyard.
Yes.
Mary Ellen happens to be very lucky to live within walking distance of Elizabeth Park in Hartford. And she goes there throughout all the seasons photographing these flowers. And she just has great style in getting right into the macro of this particular flower, and of course the colors and the texture.
It's just gorgeous, and I think people, beginning photographers, when they take pictures of flowers, what do they tend to do when they take a flower picture?
They don't watch the background.
They don't watch the
Right.
It's
background.
number one, they don't watch the background, and the other thing is that there are a lot of things that we call are soft and out of focus.
Yes, and so when you start seeing this and then you compare it to your own picture, it just normally makes you involved with your own work and make
Right.
some changes. Margot, going back, what is the age range of the New Haven Camera Club members?
Most of the people that actually attend regularly on the meetings range in age from about their mid-20s to their mid-70s. But there's no age limitation for coming to the Camera Club. You can come as, if you can't drive yet, have your parents bring you. Everyone is welcome.
Well, if you can't
We're-
drive, your parents might want to stay with you because
Yeah,
we don't
it's
babysit.
no, we don't babysit, but all ages are welcome. The younger the better. The Whitney Center is also senior living, and so the senior people that live in the center are more than welcome to come attend our club.
And they have been coming.
And they have. So we've
Yes.
got
They've been
more
enjoying our
than 70-year-olds there.
Yes,
80 and 90-year-olds come and attend it because the programs are just so
And they've
interesting.
been enjoying the programs too.
Yes,
the ones
they
I've talked to.
And the
Yeah.
attendance is up. We're getting more and more.
Yes, it's fun to see them there. Frank, can people join the workshops and not be a member, or how does that work?
Well, if you want to attend a meeting, you don't have to pay. You don't have to be a member. We welcome people to come because they may become members. But to participate in a competition or a workshop, you have to be a paying member of the club. You have to be paid up in order to do it.
And I think, Margot, did we talk about the price of the membership?
Well, not yet, but I'm delighted to say that the New Haven Camera Club is one of the lowest membership fees in the area. And it's only $25 for single memberships. But the other nice benefit of it is we have family memberships so that the entire family can come for $40.
And what is our largest family we have there?
I believe it's about four.
About four.
About
So
four.
4 people, $40.
Right.
And I've been a member a really long time. And I've had some of my very good friends are in the New Haven Camera Club that I've been friends with for years and years. And it's the way to make friends and enjoy the company of people who enjoy the same thing that you do. Linda, I understand you're in charge of field trips.
Yes, especially on field trips. There are 3 or 4 field trips that are offered per year. We have some overnight, but mainly day trips, and some half-day trips. And I remember when I first joined the club, I really didn't know anybody. And I went on the field trip, and everybody helped me. Everybody was kind. I grew to get closer to them. And when I see new members, I go over to them and ask them if there's anything that they have any questions on. And we also became friends.
Well, Linda, you're one of the kindest people that I've ever met, actually. And you also, when you go on a field trip, you also have a signature move. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
What is your signature move?
Well, the thing is that if everybody is on time at our meeting place, you get warm blueberry muffins.
Oh.
I mean, really?
If you're late, they're cold.
If you're late, they're cold. Do you give them to them if they're late? I wouldn't give it to them.
No,
you know?
they still get it, but
They still get it.
They don't have them.
They don't have them
warm.
warm. So can you imagine showing now when you? So we sometimes we meet early, like 6, 7 o'clock. When do you get up to make
Well,
those
what
muffins?
I do is I measure it out the night before, and so when I wake up, I just take my shower. Muffins are already in the oven. They come out. I wrap them in a towel so they're still nice and warm for everybody, and packed my car the night before, and off we go.
I have to ask you a question I've been dying to ask. On your way to the meeting spot, do you ever sneak a muffin ahead of time?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, well then you're not
That's
like me
willpower.
at all. I'm
No,
just saying.
I do not.
Okay, I know I would, but I'm just saying. Now, there's also a place that we go to that has sunflowers and ice cream. How do they go together?
Oh, they go together quite nicely because a place called Buttonwood Farms has also an ice cream shop.
Homemade.
Homemade,
Ice
and
cream
there
shop.
is such a thing as sunflower ice cream, and that's how they go hand in hand. And there's a huge opportunity to photograph landscapes there, close-ups there. There are stone walls there, and it's just a really great opportunity to eat the ice cream before you shoot.
And I'd like to say, go back, is Frank, that's how I really kind of became friends with you, is
that
on one of
field
the
trip.
field trips, because I really didn't know you, and at the club, and I was too shy to come up to you.
I never said you were shy.
Jan Doyle shy? No.
Yeah, but you were stuck in my car, and you didn't comment about the driving, I might add, and so we, but in the normal conversation of things, we got to know each other,
Absolutely.
and that's how everyone gets to know each other is on the trip.
We do.
I've had the same experience.
Yes, yeah, it's just a wonderful. I mean, you can just go to the meetings and that's fine, but it's through and I know Linda puts a lot of time and effort into the field trips.
Right,
Especially
absolutely.
where to eat. I
Yes.
check out all of the places
Yes, that's-
so that we can have good food.
Yes, yes. Don't forget the muffins. So now we have another set of pictures that we're going to be seeing on the monitor. And the first one that's going to show up, I don't want the audience to get scared, but oh my God. Who would like to take this one?
Well, that's got to be Lisa.
That's Lisa.
Lisa
That's
Lisa.
Kuchara.
Gotta be.
Lisa and her husband Tom are long-term members, and she is very creative when it comes to both the actual photograph itself and the post-processing and getting this lizard, I guess it is,
Yeah.
on a motorcycle. It's just amazing what they do with this and
she
with
has-
the HDR
She
photography.
has over 200 frogs, and she puts
Now,
these frogs on
explain
motorcycles.
that. 200
Yeah.
frogs
She has a room. It's like they're all terrariums. She has a room that's just
in her house.
in her house, just wall-to-wall stacks of these terrariums with frogs, and each of them need a different temperature. Each of them need a different humidity and what they eat, and she gets them and puts them on flowers and other props, and she's extremely creative with it,
is.
and that's the sense of humor as well.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't even do
They
that
both
for
are.
myself, different temperatures, humidity. All right, our next photo that's coming up is a landscape. And who would like to talk about this? This was Harold
Is that
Siskin.
Harold's?
This has got to be Death Valley.
Yeah.
And he has captured the essence of Death Valley here, the starkness of the branches that are dead,
Right.
yet there's one crow on the right-hand side, and he is an expert with composition, and in this photograph you see the rule of thirds. You have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background, And so the lighting was handled very, very expertly in this image.
It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
Beautiful
gorgeous
shot.
Wonderful.
So I want to just point out, we have a wide range of photos. We saw from the first set and this set. And the last one on this particular set that we're going to show, I had just going to, before Margot talks about it, I just like to say, this is with Joan Balin.
Right.
And this photo is the one photo that pushed me over the edge to learn Photoshop, because this to me is a phenomenal photo, and Joan is the queen of Photoshop.
Right.
But what would you like to say about it, Margot?
Joan is another one of our incredibly creative photographers that we have, and is very skilled. And one of the nice things that Joan does is she thinks differently when she's looking at a photograph and when she's looking at an image and the object that she's shooting. It's not just, oh, I'm going to take this perfect picture of a lighthouse that shows the texture, that's well illuminated. It's, well, how do I take the lighthouse and make it go beyond being a lighthouse?
She thinks outside the box.
And
Yes.
absolutely,
Yes.
and finds new ways to present and to use things, and they're very skilled when you know, just the techniques to do that. But the nice thing about that is when she's done, you're not lost in the technique.
No.
You're lost in the result and the overall feel of the photograph and how the photograph speaks to you.
Right. And sometimes our members will, after a meeting, ask someone, how did you do that?
Right.
And so we share right there at the meeting.
Yeah.
I like
Not
what
only-
you just said. You're not lost in the technique. That's a very interesting
Yep.
comment, Margot.
Because that's, to me, that's what makes the difference, and that's what you learn in Camera Club, is you're not spending all the time asking about, this is my camera, how to use it. When you get a new camera when you're learning, you've got to learn that. But once you do that, you start to get into the art of photography, and we have enough members that are experienced enough that actually have done that and gone beyond just taking snapshots and actually turn them into works of art.
Many more options nowadays, many more options.
And they're willing to teach it. And you
I
say,
think that's a good,
Joan, how did you
important
do
point."
that? Come on over, let's go meet at the library, or come on over to my house and we'll go over it.
Or there will be something, and she'll do a workshop. Joan is
she'll
doing
do a
workshops
workshop.
Joan's a
on
good
this.
teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause
Fabulous.
She
handles a
did a
couple of
workshop
workshops.
on holiday cards
Yes,
for us, and we
yes.
all got together and learned
So
how to do that.
I just want to, we're moving on. Frank, how do, excuse me, not Frank, Linda, how does the holiday, we have a holiday party, but it's not just about the party part. What is the nice aspect of it?
Members are actually persuaded by Paul Peterson to put together a program of their images set to music, or it doesn't
Right.
have to be set to music, to entertain ourselves for the party. And we've had some wonderful, wonderful presentations, and it's very, very entertaining for us. We look forward to it.
It is. Everyone enjoys it, and we had a lot of people at the last holiday
certainly
party.
did.
And Frank, how does the end of the year competitions work?
Well, we have a party at the end of the year, a dinner.
So we're party people.
We,
We are
we do,
party
we do
people.
like to party.
We like to
yeah.
party,
We
okay.
take our
Priority.
photography seriously, but we do like to party. So at the end of the year, in June, we have like a wrap-up dinner. But at that point, we encourage the members to submit what they feel are their best images for the Image of the Year awards. And how many awards are given out at that point?
We have a lot of awards that are given out. We have increased it over the years, you know, so that everyone gets an opportunity.
Right.
We also have some memorial awards from past
Photographers.
Camera Club photographer members who have passed on. One in particular, my very good friend Jane Sibley, is the Jane Sibley Nature Award, which I
Right.
tried for a couple of times and did not get.
My very good friend Joe DiCello
Right.
won an award that I still miss. You know, I still miss him. It's been about 10 years. We
Right.
used to go shooting all the time. And but by having an award, it's really nice to.
And having an award in their name, I think,
Yes.
is
It's a
important.
nice
you know,
memory.
it,
Yes,
keeps their
yes.
memory out there.
It's a great honor.
It is a great honor. I hope when I go, someone has, you know.
Oh, we will.
Oh, good.
Doyle Award.
Don't
We
go.
will.
Don't go, though.
Yeah, not yet, not
yet.
yet. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about the next set of image. We have an image coming up that won the Image of the Year last year.
This group is the Image of the Year. Right?
Yeah, this was Image of the Year. And this was done by Jim Dione.
Yeah.
And this also looks like it might have been done at one of the workshops where he learned
With texture
from.
and.
I think this was Elizabeth Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
But I
Was it?
believe this was Elizabeth Park.
Oh,
And he got
really?
down low.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Because he doesn't like to do Photoshop.
He doesn't. He doesn't. But he went, you know, kicking and screaming into the technology, as did
Yeah.
I.
Yeah, as a lot of people
As
did.
did Paul in the
As-
beginning.
yeah.
And you taught Paul the very first thing
Well,
about
that was-
digital. And
yeah.
then he went crazy.
He
with
went
it.
crazy. So I taught him the very, very basics, and he far out exceeded me. But this particular picture, I think you're absolutely right. What he could have done was put a poster board behind it with some paintings on it to get the sky.
And people do that.
they
And that
do
is
that.
allowed.
And
And
Yes.
that's one of the things that Paul stresses in his workshop. where
Yeah.
You put the poster board behind it with a sky. You can have a sky on it, and it just really adds to the
And
photograph.
inside his house with light through the window.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Now,
it's
the
all
next
available.
photograph won first place in Open Class A,
Right.
Man with Cigar, by Alice Liang.
Right.
And this is such a terrific photo. Look at, you can see all the stubbliness.
I think the thing that I found interesting, Alice, to me, always tended to shoot
Birds.
Birds.
And then she entered this one,
She's
and I was just
multifaceted, absolutely.
blown away
she
with
has
this.
white
I
breadth,
love
which
this
she does.
photograph, to how the
Yeah.
brim of the hat kind of frames his face, and
And you have to
catchlight in
go
the eyes.
the feel. You feel
Yeah.
as though you're maybe about 6 inches away from this
Right.
man's face. Thank God you're not, because of the stogie.
Cigar.
You know. But she captured the feel of
yeah.
the way this man was looking, and all the texture in his face is just a
You feel
it's
like
an
you know him.
outstanding
Character.
photograph.
Now, Linda, you also mentioned something that I just want to pick up on. You said she has a wide breadth, and I think what happens is she's known for her bird photography,
known for her
but
birds.
when you're exposed to everybody else,
Right.
you
You learn.
develop.
You
Yes.
pick up.
Now
certainly do.
the last image in this set I'd like to show is one first place image artistry, and it's called Ghost Writer by Lisa Chichura. She's an outstanding photographer, and I mean, just look at this. This has a lot of techniques in there.
Absolutely.
Do we
Absolutely.
do we want to mention some of them or comment on them? I know one is a time sequence.
Well,
Right, with the stars swirling around in
Right.
the sky in the back.
right, because that's a time exposure. This may be, it more than likely is two images that are put together
More than two.
because of the lighting on the ghost itself.
Light painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would
Knowing
be-
Lisa, this could easily be 30 or 40 images together.
absolutely,
Right.
no question.
I know. And some people will say 30 or 40 images. Well, come to Camera Club and you'll learn all about
Learn
it.
all about it.
I want to make sure, we're starting to run out of time, but I want to make sure we talk a little bit about the New Haven Camera Club website and blog. Frank, do you want to tell me a little
Right.
bit about that?
If anybody wants to get more information on the club, go to www.newhavencameraclub.org. And that will bring you to the website. And on there you'll see a lot of these photographs. You're going to see the photographs by the various
Oh, that's a good point.
photographers that you can look at them there.
Yep.
You'll see the competitions, what the subject is for the assigned competitions, as well as who the guest speakers are going to be for the rest of the year. And then there's also a New Haven Camera Club blog button you can click on, and that will give you some of the notices that we send out to members on a little more detail maybe on some of the guest speakers that are going to be there.
And the
Yes.
field trips.
And the field
Field
trips,
trips.
everything.
Field trips.
And then if I haven't been on it recently, but you can see past competitions.
Yes.
So
Yes, you can.
There's
You go by the
galleries.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I just also want to stress: what if I'm a beginning photographer, Margot, and those aren't the kind of pictures I can take now? Should I just not come?
No, that's the beauty, and that's the one thing that's the hardest to learn for everybody, is you've just seen some absolutely gorgeous photographs. Those are skilled photographers that have been working at these for a vast number of years. Don't judge your beginnings to somebody else's middle and
Right.
end.
Good point.
Because the beauty of the Camera Club is those people become your mentors, so they can take you from your very beginning. I know I joined the club because I bought a camera, and while I was in the store, I happened to be chatting with a member of the New Haven Camera Club, and it turns out the meeting location was just down the street from where I was working at the time, so it was a no-brainer, and I bought this great camera, and I realized it's not a camera anymore, it's a computer. How do I use this?
That's true.
And now I've learned how to use it, and I've won some ribbons in the competition, some first place ribbons in the competitions.
Which is very exciting.
Which is very exciting to do, but it's more exciting because the Camera Club members taught me how to use it. And the Camera Club members helped raise my understanding and awareness of my photographs, taking them from snapshots to photographs, and what the difference is. And
let's not forget
you learn
inspiration.
that. And
Inspiration is a
inspiration
huge
is-
element.
Yes.
It is inspirational for me when I go to a meeting and I see wonderful photographs. I want to go home right then, and I want to start. But then I have to go home, go
Gives
to
you
bed, and go
ideas.
to work the next day.
Oh, you have that day job.
I have that
Okay,
day job.
right,
Yeah.
right. You have a half day
3
job.
days. 3 days a week I have a day job.
I
Oh,
have a
you
day
have
job,
a
too.
full-time day job.
I have a full-time day
I
job.
think I'm going to just keep my mouth shut. But the other thing that I was thinking, and I just lost it. I just lost it. It went out of my head. It had to do with all of this, and I can't remember it. But I would like to stress that if people want to learn out more about the New Haven Camera Club, and they come in and they see one of your little faces, then you're the face they can walk up to and say, "Hey,
Right, absolutely.
I saw you on TV. Can I have your autograph?" Or I came here because of you. So I want the audience to remember that you already now see 3 faces that you recognize, and you're very accessible, and they can go up to you and say hello.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
and you'll
Please.
introduce them around.
We
Absolutely.
welcome it.
So, Margot, what is the website again, please?
NewHavenCameraClub.org.
Okay. And I also, if you, and you can see it on the screen, and if
There
you
you go.
somehow forget that, you can always
Google it.
Google it.
New Haven
It's the
Camera
first
Club.
one that comes up.
It'll come up and it'll show you.
Should
and-
point out that the New Haven Camera Club is the oldest in Connecticut.
Wow.
It was formed
107
back in
years old.
1911.
Wow. It's a great club. We're a great organization. We have a lot of top members. And if you forget all this, you can always contact me at jmdteach@comcast.net. Or if you even forget that, how could you? You can always contact BCTV Studio. And we look forward to seeing you at the club. It's free. You can come to the competitions and the meetings and not pay a dime.
And have fun.
And have fun and eat some snacks. Just saying.
Thank you for having us, Jen.
Thank you
We
for
really
being
Thank
here.
you very
for
much.
putting this together.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Right.
You know?
Thank you.
And so